Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 7 of the Admin of Code. We have about 1 minute and 35 seconds to go. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about this one today. And it looks like, is this supposed to be a map today? Or just in general? Like it looks like a camo, kind of. Like this is the hump on the right side and that's like the face of the eye. That's like a watery thing. I don't know. I'm just like, maybe it's one of those things, a Rockshore thing where like you just see things. Anyway, yesterday we did have a chance to get at the leaderboards perhaps, but we didn't do it. We choked a little bit. So today we'll see. We have 1 minute to go. Today is a Friday. In theory, maybe this will be a harder problem, and maybe in a way that is less ChatGPT-able. And hopefully that will, maybe it'll be our one and only time at the leaderboards. We have 40 seconds to go. I'm gonna make this window a little bit smaller, because hopefully you don't need to see it, but this is my my setup on terminal, and we have 30 seconds to go. Wow, I get a quick water, and yeah. Good luck, everybody. And good luck to me too. 20 seconds. Whew. Alright. Are my fingers ready? I took a nap earlier today, so, or like just right before this, which is probably not a great idea because I should probably go to sleep. But nonetheless, I feel fresh right now. But is my mind fresh? We'll see. We have 3, 2, 1, focus, go! Oh, jeez. Oh, just 2. Okay. Okay, yeah. Come on now, you're not even trying. Man, I am rusty. Okay. Okay. Oh, jeez, what are you doing, Larry? I think I'm missing something. That's wrong. No. How? Mm-hmm. 10 and 19. Oh, come on, Larry. What are you doing? Oh my, that's not even right. Larry. What a typo. Is that even right? That seems high. Okay, 361. What a typo. I mean, I was slow anyway, but especially for ChatGPT, hopefully part 2 is a little bit harder. Okay, well, I don't know. I think maybe it is a little bit harder, but maybe not enough. I think I just don't have this one. And the way I wrote it, I should have done it recursively, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe I have to rewrite it. I mean, I could do it this way, but it's just too confusing. Okay, fine. Yeah, I should have written it this way. I think I tried to be too clever. I mean, this is pretty straightforward to write as well. But I don't know. I don't know if I tried to be too clever, but I thought it would be a little faster, and I was wrong, I think. Oh well. 87. I mean, this is, yeah, I mean, yeah, that was not a good effort. I usually don't write it this way, but and I had a silly mistake anyway for part 1. Because if I had done it this way, if I had done it the part 2 way, then part 1, or yeah, if I did it this way to begin with, it would have been much faster, right? I mean, it ended up taking only 2 minutes, but if I had done it this way, it would have been like literally 20 seconds, right? And what I mean by that is just that if I did it, I mean, I had to rewrite it. Basically, I had to write the same thing twice. But if I had this instead, and this one is fine. Let me actually comment it out instead of removing it. But I didn't know how I would need it to extend it, right? Because here, then it's just literally the same, except I add in this line, and that would have taken 20 seconds, and I would have been very confident if I had gotten part 1 right. I think I was trying to be, I don't know if I was trying to be too fancy or something, but also I was just a little bit too rusty on the bit mask with brute force, and I just kind of got the indexing mixed up because I was just rushing it a little bit. I knew I had to be fast for part 1. I knew how to do it, but I was just not fast enough in either case. Yeah. Let's go over the solution real. Well, let me flash the times real quick. These are my times of day 7. I think. All right. Let's see if that would have been leaderboardable. 347. I mean, yeah, my part. I did spend time debugging on part 1, which is yeah, not a great time. And I would also say that if you want to ask me about like my benchmark, I guess 5 space would be it. And what I mean by that is just like, look, there are people that are faster than 5 space for sure, like on one particular problem, but 70 people is probably a little high, and we still have a good amount of cheaters whom, you know, I don't know. At this point, um, I don't know. People just don't have any reasons to do it. And yeah, in part two, I think it's way. I don't know if it's ChatGPTable, but either way, like if you're given the code for part one, I think most people, ChatGPT or not, is able to modify it for part two, which is unfortunate. Probably true as well. And maybe I could have too, but 2 minutes feel a little bit slow actually. But I also, I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't have the code ready, and I was like debating it. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. And yeah, let's go over I mean, I don't know that there's that much to go over in the sense that this is just brute force, right? This is a 2 to the n algorithm. I actually don't. Oh, I copy and paste this part. It wasn't good. I actually am curious what the ends are. Just a glance. Oops. Emacs stuff. Okay, so like the biggest is like 12, maybe. Like I probably could have wrote a helper for it, but it seems like 12 is about the biggest. So 2 to the 12 is what, I don't know, like 4,000 or something, right? So that's fine, obviously. And then 3 to the 12 is 500,000, which is also fine, right? I mean, yeah, this operation, the way, especially the way that I did it, is not cheap, but it's also not a big deal. So yeah, and there's some prunings that you can do, right? That are very natural, but honestly, 3 to the 12, even times another factor of n or something, or maybe even n square, if as a very lazy thing for the number of digits, because the most expensive part is going to be this, not necessarily calling this, but just like doing the concatenation, right? Which is based off the number of digits, but yeah, not a big deal, 3 to 12. But that said, there are probably things you can do, right? So for example, you can write, well, let's time it real quick, right? And this is for part two. So this takes, this is with the input, 3 seconds, which I'm not going to lose sleep over at all. But a very lazy, easy thing is if current is greater than r, then we return, right? So just a very short pruning. So you make it about 1.3 seconds faster, but if we took more than 1.3 seconds to type, then you already lost time, right? So it's not a big deal, I don't think, for this particular problem, especially when n is equal to 12. I thought that this would work. I don't, and if I had written it, you know, if I had written it this way in part one, then it would have been a cakewalk for part two. It is what it is. Yeah. Too much ChatGPT. But I mean, I don't, honestly, I don't know if I would have leaderboard on this one without ChatGPT. I definitely took the way. I spent like, I don't know how long. I have to kind of look at the video tapes, right? But I did spend like maybe 1 minute debugging, and that is already too slow. And I was typing a little bit too slow. I should have done it the other way. Some of it is parsing code. Parsing, I thought I was pretty okay, but I think just like writing this, I was a little bit rusty about writing bit mask stuff. Maybe I should always just do it recursively. But part two, but but the part that it's a little bit sad is that I did get penalized for part two about it. I mean, at that point I wouldn't have made leaderboard. What is it? 4. I feel like on a good day I could have finished both in. If I like on a day where I did it not the bit mask way, but whatchamacallit, recursive way. But again, like 5 space is roughly like my parameter. I mean, obviously, like on any given day, there are real people ahead of people, but you know, yeah. And of course, Boo Pai Chu whenever I see the Nick handle. So there are a couple of legit people, and I'm happy for them. Well, like I'm still happy for them, but I don't know if they're happy with the current leaderboard situation, where the top people are all just like, wow, you're really cool. You really know how to run a script at midnight every day. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, this is how I would. These are two ways of writing it, and you can actually even return this if you like, but it doesn't. It's not a big deal for a one-off thing. Of course, in production you should. Well, in production you should really check to make sure that you need those 2 times 2 to the n algorithms. So that's the story there. But yeah, that is all I have for today. Let me know what you think. Let me show you the code one more time. Here's part 1. You even did it both ways because I need it for part 2. I spent a little bit time thinking about doing it with bitmask for part 2. You can do it that way. It's just that I wasn't confident about getting it out quickly enough. Maybe for upsolving, I can actually reverse do it. That's fine. Let's actually before I go, let's upsolve this with. I mean, technically it won't be bitmask anymore. But this is the way that I would think about it, right? Is that maybe I'll power 3 to n minus 1, right? Maybe I could have still, maybe I could have, I don't know. But yeah, and then you have this. Maybe P is. No, I think we can manipulate I actually because of the way Python works. So if I mod, so we could do a match I mod 3, right? So you have a case 0. It doesn't really matter the actual numbers, right? So maybe I could have done it. I don't know. Right? Maybe I didn't need to, but I wasn't confident about this way working. That's why I didn't do it this way. Well, it runs much faster apparently if it doesn't run. And also just curious about the timing. It seems like, I mean, it makes sense that it is slower. But wow, it is much slower. But would it be, I don't know if I save time typing it the other way though. It's either that or I have an infinite loop, but it shouldn't have an infinite loop. We just have 4 loops. But did I mess up the time? Wow, this is really slow. So 22 seconds. I mean, it took me longer than 22 seconds to do it the other way. And I probably did this in about like, I don't know, that's what I was debating in my head. But I didn't know which one was faster. But then there's the time that I took to write it this way. But then you have to add like some non-zero higher probability that I was doing in my head anyway of getting or making a silly mistake. Which actually, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things, and here it is for the 3 to the n code. If you want to write it with, it's not bitmask because obviously it's 3 to the n instead of 2 to the n, so you're not dealing with bits. But a ternary, like instead of binary, it's ternary, is it? Yeah, like a ternary or base 3 solution. If you want to do it that way, I guess maybe I could have done it this way. I don't know. Yeah, and you could even early terminate, but I don't even know if this is how much time would that save with this early termination from 22 seconds to waiting still a while, just a while. 21 seconds, so that didn't save that much time. That's actually maybe, I don't know if it's surprising, but why does it go that much slower? I mean, I thought it would be slower because it often is because of the way the loops work, but I'm actually surprised it's slow by a factor of 3. I don't know. That's kind of curious, actually. Well, I mean, I know that the pruning doesn't prune that much makes sense because instead of cutting off a branch of a tree, of the recursion tree, you're just cutting off one leaf, and then you have to cut it off every time you see that thing. So that's why that makes sense. But actually, I'm kind of surprised a little bit. Like, I can't imagine the for loops are that slow, but I don't know how to set up PyPy. I feel like I set up PyPy, or try to set up PyPy every year, and I can't get it, so I don't know, because I'm on a Mac. Anyway, yeah, let me just put it back up, actually. Anyway, that is all I have for this one. Here you see it both ways for part 2, and that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Let me put up the times as the ending screen. Thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. Yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow. I'll see you later and take care. Bye bye.